What's going on? Welcome back. So I'm not sure where I left off. I've had a really busy week. Haven't had much time in the shop. Just little bits and pieces here and there to do some stuff on the car, and I've made some progress. I'm sorry I didn't film it, but we're going to be doing the other side today. So we're going to get right into what exactly happened while I was away, or while you were away, and we'll jump right into it. All right, so like I said, I'm not sure where we left off. I think I was starting to do the top hoop of the cage, and a lot has happened since then. So what has happened is basically the whole start of the cage is happening. I've obviously put the top hoop in. I've welded it in place. Put a side door bar here and some intrusion bars for the B-pillar going down. And this guy. So this is pretty much the styling of the cage and what it's going to look like once I'm done. And today we're going to start on this side. I got my trusty little hoist there, which will help me put in this main hoop, and we can get it to look like that side over there. I'm pretty excited how it turned out. I'm still thinking I'm going to do a door. Not even necessarily a door, because I don't want it to be a whole door. It'll be like a... So essentially from this point right here, I'm going to chop that right there, so right when it gets straight. And then when I put in another intrusion bar from here to there, I'm going to chop it right there. And this whole top tube right here, this like 30-inch piece, I'm going to make it part of the window net. So essentially what will happen is this tube will come down. I'll have a tube coming down right here. And it'll basically, I don't even know. It's hard to explain. So I'm going to have a tube going down like this, and a tube coming down like this. And this whole section right here, which is a small V, will open up with the window net itself. It'll be one whole door, I guess you could say. So I hate to call it a door, because it's not really a door. An entrance window, a big entrance window for my big old belly. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Probably later down the line. I can get in this hole right now just fine. It's more of just ease. Because when you're strapped in the car, you need to get out for whatever reason. Let's say we blow a tire, or we need to change a belt, or we have some whatever issue it may be on the race course. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to get in and out of the car through that small area. You have to like kind of crawl out, and then I've even had one of my co-dogs actually fall out one time, which was kind of brutal. And I've slipped off this. We were racing in the snow. And I put my foot right here to get off the car, and my feet were full of snow, and I slipped off. It was bad. And I fell into the snow, or mud, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, back to race car things. We are going to be putting in this whole side to make it look like that today. And then I'm going to go ahead and start by putting this tube up there, marking where we need to notch it right down there, get it set in place, tack it in place, make sure it's completely even with the other side, and then we can start with doing this main side right here, and then do the rest. Should be pretty easy. It's taken me a little bit of time, and I'm sorry I didn't get to film it all. I kind of worked like, let's say, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, and didn't get a chance to actually, it wasn't worth filming. So, and I was like measuring stuff, trying to design it how I wanted to design it. I wasn't quite sure. So it would just be kind of a bunch of useless stuff for you guys. So I did one side. Now I know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it on the other side and show you guys. It is notched and looking good. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take it over. Sounds like one of those rain sticks. I'm gonna take it over here to this side and set it up. I knew my measurements were gonna be a little off, but my guesstimate about how tall this strap needed to be, but that's okay. All right, so sorry about the shakiness. Yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this in place. Try to get it as even as possible as the other side. Some measurements. Our trusty angle finder. This is up 4, there, up 2. I mean, to the naked eye, this kind of looks very similar and even on that side, but apparently it's not. One thing that's crazy about these things, I love these. This is a Klein angle finder, or angle gauge, whatever you want to call it. Is you have to be careful because the bottom is magnetic, and sometimes a lot of pieces of like metal dust and stuff like that gets into it, and then it throws your angles off. So be careful when you do that. Stay there. What we got to do now is, now that we have this, okay. Now that we have that at 0, 0, and the other side is 0, 0, we know we have a flat cage, right? Essentially. So what I gotta do now is I gotta take all the mill scale off this guy here, and then make it look all nice, and then tack it up. Start welding it up so we can get that piece in play and it looking good, and then it makes it easier instead of having to fight it, because it does want to move around a lot on me, as you can see. So to avoid that, I just tack it in place, or maybe even weld it in place. That way it's just there, and then we can just build off of that, and that's what I did with the other side. All right, so now I got this tube completely cleaned off, making it look nice and shiny like the rest of this stuff. I can't stress it enough. You gotta make sure you clean off all the mill scale on your tubes whenever you're welding. That way your weld lays nice and clean. It's not contaminated. It's not gonna spit and spatter and all this stuff, and it won't even make a good weld. The mill scale stuff, the weld has a hard time penetrating it. So what you gotta do, make sure everything's nice and cleaned off. Use some acetone, brake clean, whatever you want to do. Just make sure the fumes are gone when you're done. If you spray brake clean, make sure the fumes are gone, because if not, it will light on fire. Trust me, I know. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing kind of tacked in place where I want it. Just put a quick tack on it, just so basically I can make sure that it's matched up with this guy, because I do have a little bit of a angle out on this tube, so I got to make sure that this one is angled out, and it's, as you can see, it's kind of not. So got to make sure you do that. Fix it up, make sure it's nice and lined up. Make sure it's lined up with that guy. And also make sure that it does stay even, because like this one now says it's 0.01 down this way. So Yeah, see, it's sometimes it gets finicky. Whenever you weld, the tubes want to like just basically grab, and it tightens, and it does mess up a little bit. So it's always good that you play around with it and get it to be even. Well, now it's saying it's down a little bit, so we'll do one little. Gosh, it's so finicky. If I do one click, it's too much. Yeah, so just gotta make sure you do that. I'm gonna play around with it because it's jumping from 0, 0, 0, 1. It's just, I don't understand it. Come on, go to 0. Anyways, I'm gonna play around with that, make sure it's all nice, get this thing lined up, and then we can start welding it. Well, we got this tube tacked in place. I had to do a little bit of finagling to get it the same angle as this guy. So this one, if you notice, this tube right here, this A-pillar, is angled out just a tad. And now this tube right here is the same thing. So it's both angled out. You know what's crazy is I wanted to make this car as wide as possible, and I've definitely achieved how wide this is. It's crazy. If you compare it to this car. This car right here, rough estimate, 40 inches, 40 and a half. Let's see what this one is now. It should be around 55. 56. 56 inches versus 40. It's almost 10 inches wider, which is crazy. It is going to be a big, wide, low car, and that's exactly what I wanted to achieve. And so let's change a little thing. After editing some video, I've come to realize that, like, yes, I understand these videos are very boring because I explain too much, I talk too much, and I have a hard time with that. I'm sorry. But I'm also trying to give you all the insight on what I'm trying to do with this build, give you all the details on why I'm doing certain things, etc., etc. So I've come to realize I'm not trying to teach you guys how to build this car. I'm showing you how I'm building it. So I apologize if they do seem kind of lackluster and boring. There's just lots of cool things that I find is cool, at least. I hope you guys do too. But anyways, I am going to try to not talk as much and try to give you some more just video content. I know that could be boring too because nobody wants to see just welding, and that's just all I'm going to do. So what we're going to do is try to change it up just a little bit. So just so you know that I am aware of it, and I'm going to do my best to try to fix it. Okay, so now we got this thing zeroed out, 0, 0. We know that side over there is 0, 0. We can start welding this thing up. So I'm going to set you guys up. We're going to weld some stuff. God, one thing I hate is stopping mid-beat. I was tripping over this damn tube down here. Make sure your feet, everything's clear, because it totally messes up my bead. I'm not happy about that, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up a little bit. All the way around, it's good. This thing is still at 0, 0, which is absolutely awesome. now we got to do is check the span to make sure that we are still 0, 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, try to find something big and long and put my angle finder, angle gauge, and see if it's true. Make sure it's completely flat on both sides. Alright, so what you've seen in that time lapse, sorry, that was really close. I cut down a piece of tube, I bent it, notched it, and here we go. This is the side tube, or the C-pillar, if you want to get technical. The goal is to make this guy right there. Let's see if we can put you on there. I don't know if I can get it to go that high, but we're gonna watch this guy right there, and the goal is to get it to be 0. Boom. Yep, we've achieved 0, and I'm glad, because you want, especially with it being a main structure tube, you want to make sure that you have a really good tight fitment. You want to make sure that your welds are going to lay nice and you'll get good penetration on it and things like that. So you don't want to fill gaps, or you don't want anything like that. You want really good tight fit copes that look like that right there. Same thing with the bottom. So you want these tubes to fit perfect. You don't want to have to like stretch it or put any kind of stress on the chassis itself. You want everything to lay good and comfortable, just to be happy. I want to make everything happy, and happy for me is achieving 0, 0. I'm excited. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take some measurements to make sure that we're in the exact same place as the opposite side. Because last thing I want is having one tube forward or back, or more of an angle or anything like that. I want everything square and perfect. And so far, right there, it looks great. Obviously, I just set it there, but I'm gonna take some measurements, fine tune it, get right back to you. All right, we got a lot of tubes in place now. So I had you on time lapse of me cutting out some tubes. We did obviously this up right here, and I started bending this guy here to match the other side. Now it's just coming down to getting this fitted up. That's not in place yet. So I was trying to get a bar to go across the way so I can make sure that it's perfectly level. And I realized that when I put the weight of this tube, because all I have is this piece right here, that what it did was it made this side go down because of the weight. And I was like, well, damn it, that's not going to work. I have to put in this up right here in order to support it and get it right. But we have, let's see if we can get this over here. Boom. 0, 0. So you have a perfectly flat roof, which is awesome. This is a brand new tube, so we know that's straight. Let's see. Come on. That's 0, 0. This guy is. Come on. I know you want to go. I know you want to go. Dang it. There you go. That one's, come on, you figure it out. Anyways, it goes back from 0, 0, 0, 1. I'm just moving it around with this tube. God, sometimes these things are a big pain in the butt, man. Let me tell you. I don't know what it is. But, yeah. Anyways, this one's sitting at 0, 0, 2. So we know that the car is perfectly level roof. And this is what we got so far. It's looking pretty damn good. I'm excited. Yeah, see, there we go. 0, 0. So now we got to put in this guy here to match that side. And we can start on the B pillar here. And then that'll be it for today. It is like 100 degrees in the shop right now. I'm sweating. And I have some things to take care of this afternoon. So I'll put you on a little time lapse while I finish this up. And that'll be a quick little up to speed video for you guys to get you to where we're at now. Then we can start, or maybe we can start doing the roof stuff, supports. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See you in a bit. Okay, well, let's take you off the tripod here. Well, so I have what you call squirreled out on this build. I was supposed to be doing the B pillar stuff, and as you can tell, the B pillar is still not there. Why, you ask? I don't know. I'm this way. I start doing something, I'm like, oh, well, I want to see what this looks like. I want to see what this does. And then I go off and do different things and lose track of what I was actually here to start. Well, I wanted to see and make sure that it was secure, the roof line. And this is what we have so far. Let's trim this stuff off. Come on. All right, well, this is essentially what the car is going to be. She is really wide, but I'm excited how everything's turning out. This guy right there, nice and flush. I still have to clean it off so I can weld them in place, but they're just these front ones are tacked in there. That's why, you know, these ones are all nice and grinded down. I've already started prepping for the intrusion bar, which will go right there. I'm pretty excited. Man, this thing is a beast. I am pretty dang excited. It's actually looking like it's coming together now, and it actually looks like a race car. But man, a lot has happened, and I'm excited to bring you guys along for this. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. There's only like so much I could really honestly show, or else I'll be here all day. I'm already struggling to try to make sure I film for you guys, and then try to do the work too. So it's kind of like I don't even know. It's kind of, it makes the process a little bit longer than it needs to be. But I'm gonna try to show you guys as much as possible. So there might be some gaps with some stuff, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, I didn't even see that. When did that get built?" You know, that's just what's gonna happen, unfortunately. But she looks great. I need to try to stop making these videos so long. I know a lot of these videos are like in the 20 to 30 minute range. So I'm gonna try to dumb them down a little bit for you guys, make them quick and easy. Might just do like a daily, hey, this is what I did today type thing for you guys from here on out, just because it's really tough. And I'm at a deadline right now. I have until the end of September, and it is the end of June right now. So I have July and August, which are the hottest months, obviously, of summer. So my time in here will probably be limited because I don't have AC. It's not cool. Like next week, it's supposed to be 115 or something like that outside, which means it'll be like 120, 125 in here, which is way too hot for anybody to be inside of a hot box. So I'm just gonna be doing little bits and pieces here and give you guys updates for the time being. But I'm really excited to share with you guys what I've done so far today, and I'll have to see you guys in the next video. I appreciate it. If you guys aren't already subscribing, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget about that. You can find me at Stoked to Shred. I'll put it right down there. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, whatever day you guys watch this. But I'm out of here. I'll see you later.